Bo Nickal just fucking flatlined by Reinier de Ridder in the co-main event in Des Moines, Iowa on Saturday. Reinier de Ridder in not complete control. That first round was kind of back and forth. Bo went for a guillotine, but he was able to scramble and end up on top. But Reinier de Ridder, man, he was the first person to really go at Bo Nickal. Bo Nickal has always been in pretty much control of every single fight that he's been in. Guys that go at him, it's either like kind of a desperation, I want to get out of there, go after him, or like Paul Craig, Val Woodburn, other guys just kind of like sat back and let Bo be comfortable. And Reinier de Ridder did what every wrestler fears: getting out of your comfort zone because strikes are coming your way. That's the biggest transition for wrestlers going to mixed martial arts. And some wrestlers have a natural aptitude for it, and other ones have to develop it, and some of them never develop it. It's being able to do what you do whilst under fire. I always say MMA fighters are the best athletes mentally in all of sports. All of them. You look at some of the most amazing things that some of these great athletes can do, right? Like Kobe Bryant going to the basket, like Barry Sanders moving on the football field, just these incredible athletes and what they're able to do. And then I say, okay, now do all that stuff that you're doing while eating punches. All that amazing stuff you can do. Athletically, mentally, seeing the field, executing techniques, being marvelous, sinking your mind, body, and spirit into this incredible athletic performance. Now be able to do that with the fear of being knocked out every second. That's what separates MMA fighters from the rest of the crop, right? And wrestlers don't have that issue until they turn to fighters. And Bo Nickal did not respond to punches well from Reinier de Ridder. And not just the fear of punches coming to the face and you kind of wince and you don't really know what to do, and you have to train that over time. But the body shots just added up. I mean, Reinier de Ridder did such a good job. And it was, I don't know if this is Reinier de Ridder pre-fight just hyping it up or trying to be misleading, but he was like, oh yeah, well, it's like my judo is better than his wrestling. I'm going to take him down. It's like, no, you're not. Like, it wasn't like Reinier de Ridder's grappling was better than Bo Nickal's grappling. It was Reinier de Ridder's MMA was better than Bo Nickal's MMA. He wasn't able to out-wrestle Bo Nickal, but when they went into a clinch, it was a MMA clinch. In wrestling, if I have an underhook, I'm winning. Like, I have the superior position. My opponent is trying to fight out of that underhook or use that underhook in return. But not that it's, an impossible move to defend or there's nothing you can do when you're getting underhooked, but I have the superior position. You need to react generally to my superior hold. And so when Bo Nickal had this deep underhook on Reinier de Ridder, the wrestling part of his brain said, okay, I'm in control. I'm winning this, it's a 70-30 right now. I'm not out of the woods, but I'm in a superior position. It's like being on top in half guard, right? Like the fight's not over. There's a lot of things the guy on the bottom can do, but I'm in a good place. I'm safe. I'm in a safe zone. I'm in the advantageous position. And so what Reinier de Ridder did was, okay, you can feel like you're in safe zone, like safe space. So I'm going to attack your other hand and knee the shit out of your body. I'm going to keep your other hand busy and uppercut your body or throw elbows to the face or whatever it may be. So Reinier de Ridder did what you need to do to superior wrestlers. Make them feel uncomfortable in places they're used to being comfortable. And that's what Reinier de Ridder did so beautifully. Bo Nickal's like, okay, when Bo Nickal is striking at range, he's still on high alert. Like, he's getting more comfortable there. He's obviously training it. But when he's striking at range, he is on high alert. When he's in the clinch, specifically with a deep underhook, he's like, okay, I'm good. Reinier de Ridder eliminated any safe space from Bo Nickal. Right? Bo Nickal's entire job, his entire career for all 8 fights and all of his training is, I'm starting at a place I don't want to be in striking range. I need to get to a place where I want to be. On top and side mount, in a deep clinch, in on a double leg, places that he's been since he was 5 years old wrestling. Reinier de Ridder took all those places where Bo Nickal feels comfortable and made him feel uncomfortable. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know if that was Reinier de Ridder's overall plan, because it wasn't what he said he was going to do. He did go at Bo Nickal, which he did say. He said on this very show last Wednesday when we talked to him, I'm going to go at Bo Nickal. I'm going to take him down. I'm going to be the better wrestler. He wasn't the better wrestler. He wasn't the better grappler. His judo didn't beat Bo Nickal's wrestling, but he out-MMA'd him by making Bo Nickal uncomfortable everywhere. And yes, it was clearly effective body shots. Like, no doubt. I'm not demeaning the damage of the strikes he was landing, but it was exponentially made worse because Bo Nickal was uncomfortable in those places. The best example of this I can ever give was Anthony Pettis versus Benson Henderson for the UFC lightweight title. At the time, Benson Henderson, I wrote literally that article for Tap Out Magazine at the time. I was editor of Tap Out Magazine at the time. I wrote an article about the best submission defense artists in MMA. And Benson Henderson, I think, was number 2 or 3 on my list because he had been caught or like in tight submissions a million times and always wriggled out. But Anthony Pettis got a basic arm bar from guard on Benson Henderson. It's like the thing you learn on your 3rd day of jiu-jitsu. White belt stuff. Why? Because Anthony Pettis made Benson Henderson so uncomfortable everywhere that even places where he's safe or accustomed to being, it bled into all the other elements of his game. And that's what Reinier de Ridder did to Bo Nickal. He made him uncomfortable everywhere. So even in places where Bo Nickal should be safe, deep underhook and a clinch, something he's done a billion times since he was 5 years old, he wasn't comfortable. It was awesome. Even as a wrestler, was rooting for Bo Nickal. And, we're all looking for the next superstar. We're looking for the next badass. Like, if Bo Nickal could be, 13-0 and undefeated and champion, like, that's something to get excited about. But there is something very, very exciting to watch a complete mixed martial arts game plan. Not expose, that's the wrong word, but bring to light something that was always kind of simmering with Bo Nickal. Russo, when you watched it, what did you think?
Same. You could see, and I always love, usually whenever you're watching fights like this with a crowd of people and you make that statement like, oh, he's uncomfortable, he doesn't like getting hit. There's always that one smart ass in the room that's like, well, no one likes getting hit. And you're like, okay, but if you're a true fight fan or you've ever trained it, you know the difference is you could see the guys who make their peace with getting hit. Like, that's what it is. It's not that they love getting hit. It's they've made their peace with it. They know it's part of the game. They walk through it. Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, these guys who are like, whatever, I'm going to catch a few, but I'm moving in to put my game plan in. You could see that discomfort in Bo. And it almost reminded me, like, remember back in the day when like a lot of the big like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champions would come into the MMA? Some of them would be like a Damian Maia, have a pretty good career. Others, I go back to Alberto Crane with Roger Huerta, where it was like, okay, he weathered your grappling storm, and now he's just kicking the crap out of you, and you're seeing the difference between MMA. I felt like I saw a little bit of that with Bo. You've had so much success wrestling, you've kind of run through most of your opponents. Now you got a guy who's really good, who's putting it on you, and you look uncomfortable in there. Like, I think him being so good at wrestling and then having this early run in MMA, this is, I think, going to hopefully be a good thing for Bo. That's why there's a part of me that's a little happy that it happened now, because now you get to shore it up a little bit and find out, okay, got some more work to do. So these are kind of my favorite moments, not because I want to see the downfall of Bo Nickal, but it's like, okay, I want to see how you respond now after this fight.
Because, so there's two issues here. So the numbers are on Bo Nickal's side to be able to bounce back. Our good friend Aaron Broadstetter put it on Twitter very, very well. He tweeted out after this, he's like, this is the sort of loss is exactly what Bo Nickal needed right now. He had lost momentum after the Craig fight, then they matched him tough, and he lost. There's so much room for growth, and someone with his work ethic will thrive off of a loss like this. Aaron then subtweeted this. Some notes. Daniel Cormier was older than Bo when he made his MMA debut. People forget that. Henry Cejudo lost his first fight at the same age as Bo. Remember when Henry lost to Demetrius Johnson. De Ridder was in his prime and was a 2-division champion and won. I think also Reinier de Ridder is grossly underestimated by most, by me. I looked at him the same way I looked at Dricus. It's like, yeah, it's kind of clunky. It's not very, it's not very clean. But fuck, as long as it's effective, as long as it works, It did. Aaron said, no denying Bo looked bad on Saturday, but he has plenty of time to make up ground. So everything that Aaron said is true. Factually accurate. And I love the example of Henry Cejudo's first loss to Demetrius Johnson, because after he lost to DJ, he was a different guy. He completely did a 180. Now, he lost his next fight to Joseph Benavidez. It was very, very close. But that Cejudo was different. Literally the second after Henry Cejudo got knocked out by Demetrius Johnson, he decided, I'm going to get my shit together. I'm getting out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to get better. Bo Nickal has created a bubble to train in. The problem is he's just not progressing at the rate that a blue chipper should. When Bo Nickal first came onto everyone's radar, and we saw his second fight in Dana White Contender Series when he triangle choked Donovan Beard, right? He had the wherewithal to be in mount on Donovan Beard, and as Donovan Beard reared up to get a sweep, Bo Nickal slapped on a triangle from mount and finished, right? 52 seconds in round number 1. That showed that he has this great adaptability and a mind for mixed martial arts. Because a pure wrestler would just stay in mount. His base is so good, Donovan Beard is going to be able to buck off Bo Nickal. It's just not going to happen. So if Bo Nickal wanted to just maintain position, he could have. But instead, he transitioned to a triangle. I was like, wow, that's his third MMA fight. He's had literally a minute and 35 seconds of MMA experience, and he's already making these great adjustments. I'm like, wow, this guy's got a mind for MMA. He's going to be amazing. The problem is, the Bo Nickal that did that to Donovan Beard is the same Bo Nickal now. 3 years later. He's just not progressing. He's just not getting better. And he's getting by guys, like he's beating guys he's supposed to, but we're not seeing the big leaps that we should see for a guy at this level. He should be fighting more often, and he needs to get out of his comfort zone. We just had Heidi Andrell talk about how Reinier de Ridder is moving to Vegas. He's moving his entire family. He's like, okay, to get better, I need high-level American training. Mixed martial arts in the UFC is full of champions from all over the place. Most of them train in the U.S. They're from all over, but they train in the United States. It's where the best training is. And Reinier de Ridder's like, yeah, I can't just be in the Netherlands. I got to not only train in the U.S., move here, move my wife and kids here, move my entire life. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be better. Bo Nickal built an ATT in Pennsylvania for himself. He's created a safe space bubble for his training. I don't even know if Bo Nickal goes to the actual ATT in Florida. Maybe Dean will know. We can ask him tomorrow. But, that's the difference between these two guys. Reinier de Ridder's like, I'm literally moving my entire life, wife and kids, culture shock, from the Netherlands to the deserts of Nevada to get better, because that's what's necessary to be a champion in the UFC. Bo Nickal's literally like, I don't want to drive further than 5 minutes from my home. I'm just going to have my buddies be my training partners. That's the difference. That's the issue. So, yes, all the things that Aaron Bronstetter said factually about Bo Nickal losing, he has time to develop, other great wrestlers ran into similar situations, they were able to change. That's absolutely true. The difference is Henry Cejudo went to a gym. Daniel Cormier went to AKA. Until Bo Nickal gets out of his comfort zone in training, he's not going to know how to fight out of his comfort zone in a fight.